Hi all. Tyler the Creator put out an album very recently in the last week, and it came as a surprise. It was a surprise drop. A little bit of background, but he put out Chromacopia October last year, his previous album, and he's now in the middle of a world tour. This guy's a machine. He just doesn't stop. So in the middle of his world tour, he just drops another album, and it's a relatively short album. It's 10 tracks, which is it's quite lovely. I mean, I like 13 personally, but I just don't want 18, 20, 25. So he's put out a relatively short album. He's mentioned that this is meant to be a fun album, so I'm guessing there's not too much depth, and it's just fast moving beats. And yeah, I'm intrigued by it. I am not really a Tyler fan, and I've avoided him for a long time because he does very off-putting things almost on purpose, and so I didn't know what to make of him, and I just didn't like a lot of what he did. But with Chromacopia, I decided to relent. The success was getting overwhelming, and I felt like maybe I'm missing out on something. Maybe this guy has something, and I just don't realize. So I decided to investigate. I got Chromacopia, and it was decent. It was good. I liked it. I could tell why he has fans. And Tyler's so fascinating because he's one of the few people who actually his fan base has grown steadily. Like, he's put in the work to build a fan base slowly. Some people explode right at the beginning. They are the most exciting thing, and so they manage to get like massive sales at the beginning, and then it declines from there. Those are the novelty rappers or the flash in the pan rappers. They don't really have a lot of substance, so they start big and fall off, and it's kind of depressing when your entire career is just a steadily declining set of album sales, whereas the opposite is so great. It's a slow burn. It's a very slow burn. It takes a long time to get rich, but it's so much fun compared to, exploding and then diminishing. You don't want to be on the downslide the whole of your life. You want to be on the incline all of your life. So, and my biggest example of that was 50 Cent, because when 50 Cent came out, it was an explosion, 10 million, and then every album, except for the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, they were all just declines, and they were still good. Anyway, you're probably here for Tyler. If you're here at all, I don't get that many listens, but yeah, Tyler. Let's go with. So I'm going to go through all the tracks just one by one. There's 10 of them, and I'll just give you my thoughts on what I think of them. I know he's. The good thing about Tyler is he's lyrical, so if you dig into it, there's meaning to the lyrics, but also he cares about the music. So it's very high quality music. I find what I found in Chromacopia, and I loved that. Even if I don't like the genre, or even if I don't like the artist, just the fact that you put effort into everything makes me like already halfway. I like it without even any effort. Just right without having to like anything specific. If you put a lot of effort into it and it sounds great, you care about the music, like the instruments and the sound, then even if I don't like the genre or the person, I'll already half like the song or the album. So we're already there with Tyler. So I'm looking forward to this. I really want to like it. I want music I can love. The Clips album was great. I need more of those. And I know Tyler's got the quality, so I'm not nervous about the quality. I'm just nervous about whether I like what he likes, which often we don't like the same thing. So let's see. Let's get into track 1, Big Poe. Okay, that was a fast one. A hard-hitting opening track from Tyler. Very fast beat. And then it was a song of punchlines, essentially, clever bars. It was quite lyrical, but there's lots of chorus and lots of groove. It's really, you can move to it. So it's the perfect combination of, hey, there's something for the mind with the lyrics, and then there's something to move with the beat. So, and just the force, the power of the song. Like, he's one of those artists. He's a bit of a shock artist, and it worked. He had some controversial lines as well about skin tone, saying what he liked. I wonder if he did that on purpose to get some controversy, because he said he doesn't like light-skinned people, and then he does like dark skinned women, but then also likes light skinned women as well. So, but this is Tyler. Like, no one's really going to give him hassle because he's always been a shock artist. He's always said even on this song, there's so many other controversial things or shocking things that you just get desensitized to it, and it just doesn't really move you anymore, because it doesn't really carry weight when you just say that all the time and you say it for shock value. So I think he's going to get away with this. And the thing is, Tyler's immunized himself because he's just made himself, like, he's so not PC and he's so unusual that he can just get away with it. So yeah, if you purposefully put yourself on the fringes, if you make yourself an outcast, then there's no outrage when you do something or you break one of the common ways of doing things. Like, it doesn't affect anyone because you don't have influence over people anyway. So yeah, he'll get away with that. And then Pharrell was on this song, which I was very surprised by. He's listed as Skate BRD, like with the letter 8, with the number 8. So he's even kind of hidden his name, which is interesting. I mean, he's at a level of fame where he really doesn't need it. So, although it's interesting that he's still going by Skateboard, because, I mean, he's in his 50s and it just seems a bit strange. Even when he did it the first time, it kind of felt like he was trying really hard to be younger. I mean, he would have been in his early 30s or so. He wasn't that far removed, but there's something forced about that whole calling yourself Skateboard P is just trying to control your own narrative. I didn't like it. It's not. Your name is some other identity. Anyway, yeah. So he was on here, and he sounded different. His voice was almost shielded a bit. It was changed, so I wouldn't have picked it up, but I did see it written down, so that's how I knew it was him. Otherwise, I'm not really great at distinguishing voices, so sometimes I might have just thought Tyler was doing a voice, especially because it was obscured. If it was pure Pharrell voice, I would know it instantly, but there's some kind of vocal effect on it, kind of like the old-fashioned phones where your voice gets a bit garbled, and I like those effects on songs, so they work really well. So that was track 1 of a 10-track album. Like, this is going to be fast and this is going to be powerful. I like this. All right, let's go to number 2. I don't have the name on hand. The name is Sugar on My Tongue is track 2. That was an experience. That was another fast one. It was kind of an R&B song. Like, it wasn't really a rap song. He sung it, so it was R&B/pop, based on the fact that it just wasn't lyrical and the verses were really short. Kind of made me want old classic lyrical hip-hop again. But this was good though. As a pop/R&B song, it was good. It was so much fun. It was just he's having fun with music, and it's not something I come across that often. So it was very, very layered. The layers on this, like the instruments on it, is just, there's so much. The track is so busy, and it's extremely grand. You know, it's a maestro. It's someone who cares about his craft and puts a lot of effort into it. The only time I've ever heard this is Dr. Dre's Compton, his 3rd album, and I just remember listening to all the instruments and just thinking, there's some orchestral sounds in there. Like, he's really had to put in effort, and he's really made it sound grand. And I never appreciated that in hip-hop. Hip-hop has always been so bare bones and it been very electronic. So to hear it grand and to hear these maestros make this amazing sound like it's classical music, I just get impressed. So Tyler's done that here, and I think it's wonderful. I think it sounds amazing. So I like the song. The lyrics, they're decent. They make sense. They are witty. Bit risque at times as well, so that I'm on the fence on that one. I'm not really into those kinds of bars, the risque bars. They can be funny and they can be clever, but they're very throwaway, and I'm not fond of throwaway lyrics. They can be fun on a song like this. This is a fun song. This isn't meant to be serious, but I still would dispense with the risque lyrics because I don't think they had that much value in them. Like, often the value in them is the fact that they are risque, so that people don't put that much effort into them, or they're not that hard hitting, or you don't feel much from them. It's just, oh, that's a clever line about that subject. Oh, okay. So I'm not into that. And there's something about it that, especially with this like fun, sugary song, and then it has that other layer to it, it just, yeah, it's not something I want to mix into the song. So that part I don't like, but it's all coded. It's all completely coded. He doesn't really come out and say anything. Well, he does if you know what to listen for, maybe. But yeah, nothing that you, to the untrained ear, you wouldn't notice. So they'll just pass over your head. So it's still okay for kids to listen to. And I can imagine teenagers dancing to this because it's just so fun and fast. And Tyler's very confident as well. And he's like, he's not shy at all when he's performing. And sometimes people phone it in. They don't really put the effort in. So here, like, he's just ravenous on his songs. So this was definitely a memorable one. Like, although I have criticisms that it's not classic hip hop, put that aside. That's my personal taste. If I'm going to judge it as how was the song by itself, the song was actually really good. Like, 2 tracks in, we're already into a strong start. If he carries on like this, it's going to be a great listen. It's going to be a fun listen. It's not deep at all. And I think I like having albums with no depth. It's good to have a bit of a variation between the two. So yeah, this is, thus far, it's looking good. 2 tracks in, and let's go to track 3. Track 3 is called Sucker Free. An allusion to hip hop's history. This one's going to be short because, kind of like the others, fast beat, very West Coast sounding. The sounds on there, even the Roger Troutman sound alike was there. It was braggadocious, and the thing that stood out for me was it was very much a summer song. I can hear this song playing. The sun is out, people are having a picnic, people are dancing, there's a barbecue. It's just the perfect summer song, and we're right there. It's July now, so that felt good. It was, and he hasn't missed thus far. It's been 3 in a row, and they've all. I love consistency. You know, some albums they go up, they go down, they go fast, they go slow, and thus far we have 3 very consistent songs. So they all smoothly go into each other, and you know, consistency only lasts so long. But with 10 tracks on this album, you could do 10 tracks and be consistent. So thus far, we're consistent with the upbeat party, happy vibe songs. So we have that here. So yeah, this is a good one. I like this one. So let's move on to track 4. Momanem. Take back what I said. I take it back. He has, after 3 tracks of consistency, we're now in another dimension. This track, the beat is not really a beat. It's just like a single string being plucked, and then there's this electronic sound coming in as well. So that's very jarring and very much what I expect from Tyler. This is kind of the more the caricature of Tyler. So even though he does this shock tactics, he clearly has the other side, which we saw for 3 tracks. So there's this. The lyrics were interesting because he talked about being slighted by people, you know, when he's given people shoulders to cry on, but when it's his turn, they just disappear. And yeah, this was just a hard-hitting song. I don't really have much to say about the lyrics other than that. Yeah, and it was very, very short. It was 1 verse of 8 lines. The first line, he says, "I'm in my feelings. I don't hurt my feelings." So yeah, this is one where he kind of embraces all of his oddness. Because the other songs, at least everyone, it would appeal to everyone. But this one, it doesn't really. This one is, yeah, it's going to put people off at this point. But maybe he put it in deep enough so that people are willing to stay because they've invested for 3 songs already. Yeah, so there's not a whole lot to say. This is a very jarring song. I mildly like it. I do mildly like it, but not greatly. It has lyrics though. This has gone back to rap, like eight lines of solid lyrics, so there's something there. And that's the thing with Tyler. Like, he is not necessarily a lyricist. I think, well, he kind of is, but my point is he does a lot more than that. He's good at making sure the beat is good and the chorus and then the lyrics. It's just one of three things. So he juggles them all well. I do wish he would put more effort into the lyrics and have more of them. But he does the other two things really, really well. And actually, he would fall into that category of me of where I think certain rappers should stop rapping and be executive producers and find people with great lyrics and then mix their sound with the lyrics and make an amazing artist. I don't think Tyler should stop making music though. It was Travis Scott and French Montana that I said that about. And DJ Khaled doesn't rap, so he's in that good executive producer group. But I wouldn't stop Tyler from doing it. He's doing very well. He's doing something not a lot of other people would do the things he does. So there's still a lot of value in Tyler being the artist. So I think he's making the right move. It's worth mentioning that he actually produces everything that he puts out. So he's impressive in that way. Like, he's done all of this. I mean, this track isn't impressive because there's nothing here, but the other tracks, when you think he produced the other tracks, that's a very high level of talent. And sometimes I wonder, people shouldn't rap and produce because they're just never going to be as good of a producer as they are a rapper if they're known as a rapper. Eminem is a good example. But I think Tyler is... Actually, no, I wouldn't say Tyler's a great rapper. So maybe he's actually a great producer. Yeah, you know what? He's a producer who raps. The only reason I don't consider him a producer is because he started off as a rapper. He's not like Kanye West, who produced first, or Pharrell, who produced first and then became a rapper. Tyler came out the gate as a rapper, but actually I think his strength is in his production, and he's Travis Scott essentially, where the lyrical side of it is kind of weak, but it's still good, but it's not like, if you took him off the beats, I don't think it would be so strong, whereas some people are strong based on just their lyrics alone. So Tyler's not that. But it's still worth him rapping because he brings something other people don't. So that's my opinion on this very this actually reminds me of the album Yeezus. That was very electronic and minimal and stripped down and hard hitting, and this is that as well. So we have one Yeezus type song, and given that there's so few tracks, I would keep it, but if there were more tracks, I would get rid of it. So let's see where he goes from here. And moving on to track 4, and that's Stop Playing With Me, which actually I've already seen. I watched the video just this morning, and yeah, it's a good one. So I'll let you know what I think of that. So track 5. And we're back. We're back with another fast beat. We're back with bragging. We're back with hard-hitting lines. He seems really not necessarily annoyed, but it's definitely a strong show of strength. The song is Don't Play With Me. Or is it Stop Playing With Me? Yeah, Stop Playing With Me. And he says that repeatedly, and he comes up to the camera in the video, and he's really emphatic when he's saying it. But everything he's doing is emphatic. Like, in the video, he's dancing ridiculously hard. He's by himself, by the way. This is mostly done like the camera stays put. It doesn't move. It doesn't change to different positions. It doesn't change to different locations. It doesn't have loads of people in it. It's actually just stripped down and bare, which is actually a good idea, and it's a brave idea to do. So I like that he's done that. I like that he's willing to just have the camera on him and he's just dancing. Because I notice a lot of people, when they make music videos, they want to make it look as cool as possible. And what's not cool is just watching a person. And there's something weak and scared about, it can't just be me. We've got to, find other things to look at. And let's have some girls, and let's have people in the background, and all of this stuff. So if you can just be your metaphorically naked self, that's a brave thing to do. So, and it's just more engrossing. One thing that really annoyed me was in other videos is when the shot changes every 3 seconds, and it becomes really hard to follow because it just keeps changing. And I I know what people are thinking when they make these videos. They say, oh, we need to hold their attention. People's attention span doesn't last. So every 3 seconds, just change it to something else. And I watch it and I'm just so unsatisfied. It's almost like eating a meal. Someone puts a plate in front of you. You take one bite. They take the plate away. They put another plate in front of you. It's a different meal completely. You take one bite of that. They take that away. They bring another one. You can't really enjoy your meal if it's constantly changing all the time. So that's my rant on music videos. And I've got beef with YouTube as well, because the way people edit stuff and the way it moves really fast, I don't like that. I talk this fast, but when other people do it, they edit their breaths out so that it's not there. And it's like a constant noise in my head. I wish people would take breaths, or they would allow the edits to retain the breaths that they take. And I wish I could learn to speak slower and have breaths myself. So it's brave what Tyler's done, and it's in his bag as well, because he is someone who does shocking things, and sadly this is shocking to just have the camera still on him. But it lets you connect with him properly. Like you see him and you feel him in a way that you don't when people hide themselves. They put sunglasses on, for example. They change the shot so it's looking at other people. They have other people distracting the audience by having them around. Like this is none of that. Get rid of all of that. It's just intimate. That's the word. It's intimate. And what other people do can be quite shallow when not everybody, but some people are going for shallow videos, and this is not that. So that's about the video. It's in a kind of looks like a high school gym. There's 2 big speakers behind Tyler, and then he has appearances by 2 pairs of people in different shots. I don't know who the first 2 are, but the second 2 are clips, and I was a bit unsure why they're there. They don't really fit, but hey, they're friends. They featured on, well, Tyler was on Let God Sort Them Out. So yeah, they are friends. So they were there for a couple of seconds. And this is a very sort of, I was going to say powerful, but this is like a braggadocious song. It's got the energy of gangster rap. And when they're bragging about how tough they are and how many people they kill and all this stuff, and if you try me, this is what happens. I mean, this song is Stop Playing With Me. So it's in that arena anyway. It's just without the violence. And he even references that as well. There's a really wise line where he says something like, "You're a nice guy." Maybe it was the last song. Yeah, and he's just kind of dissuading people from trying to be that tough guy, because he's saying, you're not that tough guy, you're a nice guy, so leave it at that. So I like that line. I don't think it's in the song. It may have been in the last song. But it's good that he's actually referenced that somewhere in the album, because it's true. We don't need to be tough, and just some people aren't. So just, leave it at that. But he's got that really tough energy in this song. So, yeah, he's really almost egging people on to do something. But Tyler doesn't really have enemies. So he's actually quite safe in being very provoking, because of the actor that he's created, where he's not tough at all and he's weird. No one really takes him seriously. So he can actually do this on the camera and it not be a problem. Because there's an interesting psychological phenomenon. I mean, when you listen to this, you get more than music reviews. You get analysis and you get psychology. But there's a very fascinating psychological phenomenon that I don't know if it's been researched or named, but I'm aware of it. And it's kind of somewhat obvious to people generally, if you just think about it. But different people can say the same thing and it has different results. For example, threats of violence from a very short, fairly young girl is hilarious. And threats of violence from a very tall, very built man is very scary. So it's just unwise for you to joke that you're going to beat someone into the ground when you're 6 foot tall and you're super muscly and you're very imposing. And if you're smart, you understand the effect your words have, because no one's going to laugh at that. If somebody very menacing says, I'm going to beat you down, I'm going to knock you to the ground. But when this 4'9" woman who's in her early 20s who gets really angry and says, I'm going to knock your face off, it's just hilarious. because you don't feel like she's a threat, and therefore she can say it. Even if she's dead serious, it doesn't matter. So what you say depends on your physicality and the reality, and money and wealth can play into it as well. Like, you can make jokes about having lots. You can joke about being very wealthy, but if you have no money, then it's actually a joke, and it's a joke. But if you make a joke about having lots of money and you have lots of money, it's not a joke. You're saying the same thing, but it's not a joke. The humor is in the fact that you don't have the money if you're on that side. So, yeah. So Tyler can say all of this and it's not an issue. No one's going to really test him. Whereas other people, if they do that, it's like, okay, let's see if he's about that. Let's test him out. Let's go. Because actually there are a lot of people who enjoy that stuff. Like, they really get hyped up by, it's almost like boxing, except with very serious consequences. And so they will feel the adrenaline rush and the excitement and the possibility to be a super tough, dominating guy, which I can see how tempting that is. And they would go for it. So it's actually really ill-advised to be tough. Unless you've already declared yourself not serious and not violent and your persona is a joker. And Tyler, in some ways, has produced somewhat of a Joker outcast persona. But now he's getting more popular, and now he's shown how serious he is about music. That Joker outcast is different. That is transforming. I do feel and see him differently than I did before. So this, and going back to this song, because I've mostly talked about the video, and this song is in the vein of the first three tracks. So we're back to where we were before. Very fast hitting. And it doesn't, like, there are some songs with sugary choruses. This one doesn't have it. It says "Stop Playing With Me." That's the chorus. But I do like hard-hitting choruses. So it's good to have a fast beat and a hard-hitting beat, but also a hard-hitting chorus rather than something that's just soft and sugary that you just kind of forget. Because if you don't remember what the chorus is and you just sing along when it comes along, it's not hard-hitting. But "Stop Playing With Me" is hard to forget. He also says, "F you and your mama, F you and your dreams, and them kids, stop playing with me." I do like this energy. And a lot of us do like this braggadocious, tough. There is something appealing to seeing that. Like when someone's in a competition and they say, "I'm going to destroy you." We want to hear that energy. We don't really want to hear like, well, I won the last two, then I lost the three before, so I'm not really sure if I'm going to do well. But I'm just going to try my best and see if I can do it. And if not, it's okay. All I wanted to do was play the game, and that's it. And that's winning for me. We don't want to hear that. So he's giving us this energy. You could call it BDE. And at this point with good reason. That's the thing. That's another good thing. He's not saying this with no reason. He's saying this with good reason. He is putting the work, the effort. He gets number ones all the time. He has a dedicated fan base. Like, he has proven himself. And I'm really happy for him. And I want to see people win in this way. And I admire him and would love to be this. Because I do admire people who put the effort in and slowly build up success rather than kind of trying to get it quickly. Especially doing it from the outside, from being an outcast. And now he's an outcast who's getting number ones, and getting number ones kind of makes you on the inside. So people now have to take him seriously, and I have this chip on my shoulder at the moment. So yeah, let's hope I can follow in Tyler's footsteps and get some respect and some success. There's so much of me in this episode. We are going to go to track 6, which is Ring Ring Ring. That song was very funky. He's kept the speed up. In fact, track 3 should have been left off because everything's been fast thus far. So the song is it has a lot of funk to it. So it kind of feels like it belongs a couple of decades before. So it's been plucked out of those decades and brought here. And it's just so alive and just so powerful. It makes you move. And yeah, the beat is a win overall. It sounds great. It sounds very full as well because there's a lot of instruments there. So it's not a minimalist beat. There's a lot happening. It's very busy. So in terms of beat, I'm happy with that. Now let's move on to the lyrics. It's called Ring Ring Ring. So there's a phone theme across the entire song. I love themes. So he mentions deadline, as in the line is dead. He mentions that. He talks to the operator. The whole song is meant to be about longing for a girl that he's just lost. So the relationship's ending. Then it's ended, and he wants to get it back going. And so there's a lot of love lyrics on this song. When I read the bio of it, the synopsis, let's say, it did say it was a longing song. So it's not a happy love song. It's actually a sad love song, which is hard to tell because the beat is fast and it feels like an upbeat song, but actually it's kind of melancholic in the sense that he's lost this girl. I do love the chorus is really simple. It's ring, 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 and then hello at the end, and pick up the phone. And it doesn't sound great, but it just works. It has a theme. I think it's really catchy. That's the thing. It isn't necessarily profound or anything like that, but it sounds good. Tyler is a master of making something sound really good. So something as simple as ring, 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 pick up the phone, hello, it just works in this song. And I've long said that, actually. A popular song doesn't have to be about anything. If you want to make a hit, you can make a hit about anything. Some people, here's one of my big gripes. When people make club songs, when they make party songs, they make songs where the lyrical content is we're in the club, we're partying, and we're having fun. That doesn't work. The best club songs are the ones that are actually about completely other things. They're about heartbreak, for example, or you see someone you like and you want to approach them but you're not so sure, and those are the things that the big hits are about. You dance to them, you don't think about them, you don't worry about the seriousness of it because of the beat behind it makes it not serious anymore. It's just fun, it's just alive. Even if it's about something really sorrowful, it doesn't matter. If you've got a good dance beat under it, it'll be a hit. So he's making one about phones. Well, it's a love song about losing love with the theme of phones, and I love mixing a theme with a song because it just makes it richer. It's so much richer than just a generic love song. Taking a breath. Now let's go into the singing, because Tyler sings on this, or somebody with a high-pitched voice. Maybe he's got that range. And the singing is actually good. Like, the first half of the song didn't sound like a Tyler song, and I was just taken away by it. Didn't matter that it didn't sound like Tyler. It just sounded like a great funk sung song rather than a rap song. And then later on in the song, second half, then he comes in and starts, you hear that recognizable voice. So yeah, overall, you can hear how much I'm raving about this song. This song overall it's a brilliant song, and I love it. And again, it's as much as it is serious and it's about love, it's also not serious as well because of the beat behind it. And just listening to the song, I realized maybe I've given Tyler slightly too much credit, because lyrically speaking, this was probably easy to knock out. He probably did this in like an hour in terms of the lyrics of it all. The singing, it's not necessarily well thought out or cleverly written. It's like 2/3 vibes, I would say, and then 1/3, some clever lines in there. But for the most part, it's just vibes. And so I don't think it's difficult for him to knock these out. That's why he's done 10 songs in less than a year. But I will give him credit for the beat, though. His talent is in making the music and also just the melody and the chorus and the other parts that aren't rap. So there's 3 parts to a song, I would say, and he's got 2 of them done really well. So in this case, yeah, those 2 things were. So that's where his genius lies, and that's where I will give him credit. Not the lyrics, because they were easy to knock out, because they didn't seem like they took too much. I think Future's another one of these people who just probably doesn't think about his lyrics beforehand, goes in, writes a bit, knocks them out. Maybe he does it just straight into the microphone and then leaves the booth, and then probably doesn't even remember his songs later on. He makes so many of them, and they're so not thought out. They're all essentially freestyle songs. So this is not a freestyle song. This is thought out. It's got a theme. but it's still quite short lyrically. It's a little bit repetitive, and it's not so. It's dealing with something deep, but it doesn't itself go deep. So that's just like a layer on top. It's not quite superficial. It's kind of half. It's, you know, the top half from the surface to the middle. It never goes deep into how he's feeling, but it's not meant to. It's a light-hearted pop song with a little bit of seriousness to it, and I actually like that. I do like a little bit of seriousness to my pop songs and my lively songs, because the ones that are just completely fun-loving are just not so great. So I think it's definitely a good idea to mix in some seriousness, and it doesn't need to kill the vibe of the song. It doesn't make it less of a fun song. So I'm fully in favor of mixing a bit of seriousness in there. As long as it stays in the top half of seriousness, then you've still got a hit on your hands. If you're trying to go deeper than that, well, then it becomes a serious song, have a serious beat. Although I will say, actually, Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us was rare in that it was both a hit and had superficial appeal, but also had deep appeal as well because of the lyrics. If you listen to the lyrics, he's giving you an essay on why Drake is bad, why he's a culture vulture. And it's one of the, it's the biggest track of 2024. It was such a banger. So to have those two worlds mixed together, Kendrick did it. And he's actually quite fortunate or smart. I don't know if he even thought about this, but if he didn't add a chorus, and his chorus is just 2 lines, they're not like us, just that. If he didn't add those 2 lines of the chorus, I don't think it would have gone as far as it did. It needs that chorus, and people sing along to that chorus. But that slight omission would have rendered the song essentially Euphoria, which was his first diss track, which was an amazing song, but not a club song. And if Euphoria had a chorus, maybe it would have done better. So the chorus was key. But anyway, Tyler has really made a fun-loving, feel-good song with a serious tone to it. And it makes you human as well. I must say that seriousness helps, because if you're all fun all the time, you're not really human. I mean, Will Smith is going through this at the moment. He made that song Pretty Girls, which was just awful. And those empty songs are not connecting at all. So the fact that Tyler put in a little bit of seriousness humanizes him in the way that his video did, where he just showed himself in the previous song. So yeah, he's good at humanizing himself. And yes, so I'm very impressed. So we need to move on to track 7, and this is really an easy first listen. Some of them have been grueling, 18, 20 tracks. I've struggled. I'm flying through this, and it's not heavy as well, so it's easy to get through, unlike, say, 3 verses of a rap song. Okay, Don't You Worry Baby. Okay, we're back into the another love song, seemingly. I mean, I'm just scanning through the lyrics now, but I'm going to get into it now. But another love theme, so he's becoming a bit of a lover boy if this is going to be a recurring topic for him. And I think he is single. Yeah, so I guess it's on his mind as much as it's on my mind, because it's a big issue. I just didn't think of Tyler, the Creator, as a lover boy, because he puts out such extreme music and such unusual, off-the-wall, outcast music. And it never really involved love. It was, shocking people. And if you're someone who likes to shock people, love is not. Love is a very soft, very popular thing. And if you want to shock people, you do harsh things like that famous video where he, on the music video, I don't know if he did it in real life, but he ate the cockroach. And yeah, that definitely put me off him for a while. Okay, let's get into track 7, Don't You Worry Baby. My mistake, I was 1 ahead. This is actually Don't Tap the Glass and then Tweaking. Don't Tap the Glass, I like it. I like the song, the structure is good. He has a chorus, which is essentially Don't Tap That Glass, which is the name of the album. So that's the chorus, he repeats that. He has 2 verses. And he even has, it's not a bridge, but there's something between the verse and the chorus, which I think just adds a bit to the song. So it's good to have that and not have everything be so formulaic. It's fast, as you'd expect. It's hard hitting, so that's just in line with everything else. Some good lyrics as well. I really like the lyrics in this. I don't have that much to say actually, but there is a part 2 to this song, which is Tweaking. So he's got 2 songs here, and there's a beat change, and I had to say something about the first one before I start the second one, otherwise it'd disappear from my mind. But yeah, it's the title track, and it's not necessarily special. In fact, it's probably the least special of all the songs thus far. So for it to have the title track, not the best look. But maybe he heard that and thought this would make a great title for the album. Not that he bestowed the name of the album onto this song. I don't think it went that way. Some braggadocious bars here, and not that much to say, but it was a good song. It was fast paced, and so now there's another song, Tweaking, and this is slightly different. It's slowed down, and it's even harder hitting. Like, this is a lot more serious in terms of the beat, not necessarily in terms of the lyrics. I actually haven't got that far into it, but I just noticed the drum beat. Like, the drum beat is prominent in this song, and while it's always been there, it's always been in the background. So here it's in the foreground, and there's this alternating sound that's going on in the background as well, which is quite interesting. So yeah, already it's sounding very different and a big change from the previous song. So changing tone and tempo, but I think it's needed at this point. You can't stay too much the same for too long. So a lot of the other songs haven't really been rap songs. I think this is the most rap of all the songs, and not only does it have the braggingness in it, but it also has just the attitude in it as well. So it's good to be back to rap. I do love the typical traditional rap. I do like that stuff. But it's a very short song, and it's just like the second half of a song, and it's the smaller section, so it feels a bit throwaway. But he does have a verse on it, so yeah, it's an okay song. Again, these two are actually both somewhat lackluster compared to the rest of them. They're not as grand or as epic, but I don't expect them to be on the top level all the time. So and they don't last for too long as well. So I like these two songs. I think they're decent. Hold on a minute, my mistake. Track 8 is Don't Worry Baby, and it's got a featured artist on it. In fact, Tyler's barely on the song. It's actually mostly Madison McFerrin, and this is a 90s R&B song. It's immersive. It's so well done, and the lyrics are very much a bedroom anthem. Like, this is detailed, and it's clever in what they say, because they still keep it very PC without, it's all coded basically, but the things they say are detailed. This isn't just like vague phrases about the subject. It's actually specific. So I love what's being said on this song and how it's addressed. It's clever and it's engrossing. You really follow along when you're listening to it. So I think they got every part right. A little bit more Tyler I would have liked, but yeah, she carried the song, and she can carry her own songs as well. So she has an album out that came out in 2023. So it's good he's giving someone some shine early on in their career, and it benefited him because she's done such a good job. It's a very smooth song. It's such a smooth song, and with this topic, it's easy to be offensive, or it's easy to be off-putting. Like, I was off-put by one of the earlier songs, but here I'm not at all. This is all very much not a sweet song, but it's still quite a loving song, and it's someone talking about what they want and what they need from a relationship in the bedroom, and it's done so smoothly. So I love it. And it's someone saying this is what I want, without being greedy, without being demanding. It's just saying, hey, look, this is what I want, this is what I offer, this is what I can give you, and that's it. So yeah, very smooth song, lovely song, lovely. Going to track 9, I'll Take Care of You. again, another love theme song. I mean, maybe he should have just made a full love album. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I do like themed albums, but I'll take care of you. So we start the song with what I can only describe as dream music. It's just one instrument and it's playing keys, but it kind of sounds like the soundtrack of a TV show where they're imagining something. So it's already dreamy. And so now we have another woman singing a chorus. So it smoothly follows on from the last song. And we might be going into 90s R&B vibe again. Okay, so we're quite a way into the song and there's been no lyrics yet. It's been the beat first, and then there was a chorus, and then we're back into the music again. But I love this. I wish more people gave the beat time to just play by itself. The instrumental is art in itself, and it should have time to shine. So I love to just hear it, and it adds variety to the song. So I'm anticipating when the lyrics come in, but I'm loving just listening to the beat. Okay, so now we have some rap lyrics fading in, and it's Juicy J style lyrics. So very ignorant, very upfront and direct, and a little bit offensive. Which is a complete contrast to everything else that's come along. So I'm interested to see how this is playing out. In case you haven't figured out, I'm actually pausing it and then listening to the song, and then I'm pausing it as I talk. So I don't know what's to come yet, but I am intrigued. I have faith in Tyler. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so it seems like it's a sample of another song. So yeah, it's a bit of an odd mix. I'm not really that into it. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I just looked up the credits to see what, and it's by the Crime Mob, and it says the song contains samples of Cherry Bomb, written by Tyler, and contains sample of Knuck If You Buck by Crime Mob. And there's 6 people here, so it wasn't Juicy J, but you can guess it's that kind of sound, really. Okay, now we've just jumped into some dance beat, and I can see the featured artist is Yebba, so that's probably the singer. This dance beat, okay, this is a third separate element which is different from the rest of it. I'm not really feeling the song at this point. I want one of those elements. I don't want the 3 of them mixed, but I'll carry on to see how this goes. But this song is very much an exploration. Okay, so the end, I understood the end. You had the woman singing, you had Crime Mob still going on, and you didn't have the drum beat, like that was gone. The hard hitting stuff was gone. It was just the original sound, the dreamy sound. And the 3 of them together actually worked. I didn't mind that the singer Yebba and Crime Mob were so different in their styles. I'm guessing Tyler saw, hey, these could work together. And you know what? They could work together. I didn't mind that too much. But the beat switch with the drum and bass, that was not for me. Maybe it could work as a song if you throw in some lyrics, but it was a beat switch where that came in and that was the focus, the beat. Yeah, the chorus and the Crime Mob were on top of it, but at this point they'd become background. The drum and bass beat was the foreground, and wasn't that fond of that. Also, Tyler wasn't on this song, and this is something I said before. I said that I wouldn't mind if rappers weren't on their own songs, if they have a good chorus and a good beat and someone else can do a better job. Mostly for weak rappers, I was saying it for. But if they can, if they do that and take a step back, I don't mind. So this I approve of in terms of what it is. I don't really in terms of the song. I would keep it on. I did like the feel, like he's going for vibes, and it worked. So it did, and the singer stole the show. For me, it was all about the singer and the original beat and that original instrumentation, the dreamy one that came in. Like that is littered throughout the track, and I do enjoy that. So I think that's worth keeping the entire song, basically. Okay, track 10, and it's called Tell Me What It Is, and it's another song about love. I was going to call it a love song, but it's a song about love. There's a slight difference because he's not singing to a girl. He's actually talking to himself, saying, I can't find love. I have money, but that's not working out for me. every night I open my wallet again, is finding real love too much. That's the line. I'm a millionaire, but I'm feeling like a bum. I can buy the galaxy, but can't afford to look for love. He's singing in this, so he's in that high level as well. The high tone. The drum beat it's quite, like, the track is quite minimal. There's a drum beat and there's that, what's it called? That clashing sound. Like, that's prominent. That is just hitting all the time. So that's there. And it's reminiscent of proper drums as well, by the way. So it feels like real drums, whereas electronic drums don't always give you that feeling. And it's a sung song. It's a R&B song from Tyler. And it's a sad and somber song. Like, this time, the beat is somber, the lyrics are somber, the chorus is somber. It's all gone in a sad, lovelorn direction. It's full of angst and stress, and why can't I find love is what he says 8 times. And this is my kind of music. I like this music. I'm happy with this. It's deep. It's connecting. It makes you feel something. So, for a very fast album, he's ending it on a very low, slow note with this really sad love song. And that's it. That's the final song. I didn't say it was the final song because I wasn't sure whether I would review a bonus track. But, yeah, there is a bonus track, Down Bad. However, that ending was just so powerful. And I think if I do another song, I'm going to ruin that experience because it was a very powerful ending. I love the somber slow ending, even all the way till the end. Like the music stops and then there's I like little sounds at the end. I don't like to just cut off the music and just bang, it's done. I do like just have a little bit of instrumentation just as like a small outro for the song, and then it's a smooth ending. And then there's an outro from a voice. The intro had a voice as well. The outro has this computerized voice of Tyler saying, "You didn't tap the glass, good job." I don't know what that's about. And then he says, "Until next time." And then there's this one sound that comes out at the end, and then it's over. And it's just definitely someone who's thought about how it's going to sound, and I just love being guided through the end. A smooth touchdown of the plane. It's always important. Don't just end it harshly, or even if you just fade it out, which can work, but this is better than a fade out. This is well thought out. A fade out is quite simple. You just let it go and that's it. And that can work, but something even better, there are other ways to do it. Like ending with one of the instruments of the beat alone. That's always a great ending. So, I'm so glad I reviewed this album, or reacted to it and listened to it, because firstly it was short. I love that. And it was an experience. It was funky at times. It was fast moving most of the time. It had some sad moments. It had some feeling to it. I really praise this highly. So yeah, I could listen to more of this. And I liked it even more than Chromacopia. Chromacopia was a bit of a mixed bag. I like a handful of songs, but there's quite a few songs I'm not that fond of. Here, I guess I didn't review it, so wasn't forced to sit through the whole thing. But yeah, that project I liked it, but it didn't grab me. And this one, I've had to do it for work in this case, but I'm glad, because if you're left to your own devices, you don't always go to the things that are the best or that are great for you, or that kind of thing. But in this case, it has actually worked. I don't know if I'll listen to it again, just because it's not a natural favourite of mine, but I'm glad I listened to it. I am going to add it to my collection, and I'm going to make an effort to listen to it again, because it fits in that category of, there's some things that are sugar that are not actually good for you. They feel great, but they're actually not very good for you. And there's some things which are like vegetables. This is like vegetables of music. This is really good, but I'm not going to clamour for it. And I hope I do. I hope I listen to it again and I will feel good. And it's real music. That's what I love about this. This is real. This isn't artificial. This isn't superficial. It's just real. It's thick. It's nutritious. And it makes you feel good. I feel good. the sugary stuff, actually, I don't think it makes me feel good. I'm starting to think that stuff is like sugar. It makes me feel good in the short term and then bad in the long term. Especially with the topics that they talk about. They're very empty topics and all the bragging and stuff. It's just, I think when you have a whole song of that and you don't have great instrumentation and great beats, you're just doing what sounds cool and catchy, it can leave you feeling quite empty. I do think it makes me empty. So this is wholesome music. So I fully recommend this album. I really like this album. So that's my review. And I'll be back with more. I'm really enjoying this. So hopefully they're short too. But that's my review for Tyler the Creator, Don't Tap the Glass. Bye all.